Hello, wine drinking people. Time for more of what I've had to drink yesterday. A dizzying month, the month of February, ending with one of the greatest wines on earth, Chateau, which has become an annual event here at the Wine Watch. And, well, we're going to do it on Valentine's Day every year. But you know what happens? Somebody plans something else. You have to, reschedule your plans. Or good friend, the consigliere, Charles Duffy's birthday was on Valentine's. So we had to move our Chateau tasting not once but twice, but finally landing on the 28th of February and selling out as usual. It's the easiest tasting to sell these first grows from Bordeaux because a lot of times people haven't had a chance to try one bottle, more or less 9 or 10 bottles like we had on this evening, going all the way back to the 1949 vintage. Well, last year we went back to 1901. Chateau, the most famous property in the Sauternes region of Bordeaux, and this is a very unique dessert wine. These wines are made while the grapes sit out on the vines and rot. This Botrytis cinerea, this special rot that affects the vines, that shrivels them up and turns the liquid inside to this magical honeyed elixir known as Sauternes. Well, the amount of sugar in the bottles, 100 grams per liter, so we always have a little wine left over the next day. Well, in this case, we didn't have anything left over, but I did stop in the next day to retaste the wines as usual, working on a Sunday, but I will do that for great wines like Chateau. The 1949 was just barely missed first place tonight. The 50, the greatest vintage of that I've ever had, won out the crowds. So 6 votes for first place, 3 for second, making it the wine of the night. But the 49 was a contender, and a lot of people were split on this wine. And these wines both had this lovely dark amber color, and the 49 had a bit of an earthy note to it. And you get a little bit of that mushroomy character and maybe a little must, and then it blew off, and some nice toffee notes coming out, dried peach and apricot fruit, just smooth as silk on the tongue. This layers of decadent ripe peach and apricot fruit, some toffee, some orange zest. This wine will last another 50 years. Wow, got 5 votes for first and 2 for second, putting it in second place. Most excellent juice, just a shed below what I would call killer. Very similar nose on the 50, but none of that kind of musty nose. Really lovely, pure dried fruits, honeyed, caramel flan, just an incredible bouquet. Very thick and unctuous on the tongue here. A solid core of that peach and that honeyed creme flan note, tongue-tingly minerality. This wine just had it all. At the finish, still your tongue salivating for food. 100 years plus easy for this wine. One of the greatest Yquems I have ever tasted, and the wine of the night, killer juice. All right, the 1971, this one had a bit of a kind of an iced tea kind of note to the honeyed peach fruit and orange marmalade fig, and really lovely balance. That's what 71 is known for. Just its incredible balance. It has this firm hand of acidity, has lots of fruit, has lots of minerality, really concentrated, everything in perfect harmony. And really, I got a vote for first and a vote for second. One of the great vintages of Chateau, most excellent juice. The 83 killer. Once again, one of my favorite vintages for Yquem. Just a ton of richness here, even in the nose. Just a mind-boggling amount of glycerin, honeyed, coconut, candied pineapple, apricot. This wine opens up, just more and more coming out, thick and creamy on the tongue. This wine's got an array of honeyed fruit, firm hand of acidity, and just incredible richness, but wonderful balance. This wine got 3 votes for second place and a lot of honorable mentions. One of the great vintages for Yquem, and this one will last 100 plus years easily from now. Killer juice. All right, the 86 Yquem. Wow, another incredible wine and incredible richness here also. Note of hazelnut to the pineapple and apricot fruits, some butterscotch candy, honey. Really well-endowed bouquet of aromas here. Just slightly below the 83 in richness, I thought, but thick and unctuous also on the tongue. Syrupy texture, lots of glycerin, lots of that creme flan, that little nutty quality from the nose coming out in the finish. A very big and fat wine, but this wine's got balance. Easily 50-plus years in your cellar. Most excellent juice. The 2001, just a killer vintage for Sauternes, and this wine's a blockbuster. It is a dazzling array of everything. Right from the moment you open it up, this pineapple Jolly Rancher candy, orange blossoms, creme brulee, honey, and more, just bursting with flavor on the tongue. This wine just like incredible richness, dry extract just off the charts here, but lovely balance. This is a Yquem for the ages. I'd love to be around 100 years from now to taste this wine. Killer juice. Killer plus. Wow. It's like 100 plus. Anyways, 2003, a very hot year. Some people didn't like the Sauternes because they thought they lacked acidity, but these wines just have so much of everything, and lovely sun-dried quality to the fruit here. Pineapple, lemon zest, vanilla cream, and sweet and syrupy on the tongue. Definitely a wonderful brightness to the fruit, though, still. That lemon zest from the nose showing through on the finish, as well as a firm hand of acidity. These wines are off the charts in sugar, but they also have the acid to back it up, and one of the candidates for another 100-year vintage for your cellar. Killer juice, the 2003. 2005, a rare vintage, being exceptional for all three types of wine made in Bordeaux: white, red, and these Sauternes wines, which rarely ever happens. This wine's got wonderful concentration of tropical fruit, orange blossoms, apricots, creme flan, really balanced, reminiscent of the 71 for me in that regard. You know, it's maybe not as big of a blockbuster, but this wine has got lovely balance to it, and nothing really sticks out. Just an extremely long finish, most excellent juice. The 2011, the latest great vintage for Chateau, and this wine also incredibly rich and concentrated, reminiscent of 01 for me. White peaches, pineapple fruit, orange blossoms, vanilla bean creme brulee, thick and viscous on the tongue with lovely sweet tart finish. This wine very young. One of the things I love about Sauternes, even in great vintages, you can drink these wines young because they're balanced. They've got a lot of sweetness, but a lot of acidity to match. Most excellent juice. And we had a little bit of the dry white, 2012 WineWatchTV, and they didn't make any sweet wines in 2012, a very difficult vintage. This is something that not a lot of properties do on the face of the earth. Just don't produce any of your main wine in any one given vintage, but 12 was one. They made 1,000 cases of the Y, which this Y, Diachem, fabulous concentration and richness in this wine. 80% Sauvignon Blanc, 20% Semillon, the exact opposite blend of Chateau Yquem. And this wine had a lovely bouquet of pineapple, kind of pink grapefruit citrus, and lovely balance, a lovely long, tongue-tingling, mineral-laced finish. Just outstanding. One of the greatest examples of Sauvignon Blanc on the planet, white Bordeaux. And that's what we had to drink at our Chateau Yquem tasting. I'm your host, Andrew Lamposoni, signing off for the Wine Watch, saying, remember, always drink the good stuff first.